And today I'll be going through the deck list that I've been using throughout my whole platinum grinding, and there's a bit of changes here and there which I will highlight again later. But in the end, I find this deck list actually a lot more consistent than the rest of the variation that I used before that. Yeah. So without further ado, let's jump right into the deck list. Yeah. So I'll try to go through each of the card and give a reason why I actually add those cards in. So I think first thing is Dragon Pit Magician. This is a bit different from my previous deck list that I used for season 1 and 2, because I find that with Absolute Dragon and the effect with Absolute Dragon to come up Vortex is pretty strong, especially in a artifact build. Because in artifact you actually just need any 4 monster and then you can get them out, or even 3 if one of them is tuner and you manage to get out the another card with your Crystron Needle Fiber. Yeah, so having this card in your deck actually opens up the opportunity for you to make Absolute Dragon if you manage to get out your Astrograph as well. But this is like a more of bonus thing. I have some end board set up in my Pendulum info playlist, so you can take a look there. Yeah. For a short period of time, I actually added in Radiant the Kaiju, and because it's a level 7 monster and Kaiju itself is a great remover, especially for bots that have bunch of counters. Yeah, I played 2 previously, but I realized that the fact that if I'm going first, this card can be quite bricky because it's not a magician card, and having 2 of them in my hand might be pretty bad. Although I can get out my all ice vortex if I manage to get 2 out, but other than that, it's quite bricky. I would say you can try it out. Not saying it's a totally bad option. I guess it's really just a personal preference thing. Yeah, but in the end, I choose to remove it or just play one of them. Yeah. Next, Tuning Magician. I'm not sure if I played this or Effect Veiler previously, but I always swap around these two. But after this season, I actually really enjoy having this card in my deck. And my final duel to get to Plat 1 is I managed to summon this guy 4 times. Yeah, and it really helps me in my deck duel, and I'll be posting up a replay. It's a replay with Dragonmaid, and actually the main caption is me summoning this card 4 times. So do check it out once it's out. It should be out in the March 16. Yeah. Next, All Eye Synchron. Previously I played 2, but in this case I play 1 just to make the deck a bit tighter. I try to always go for 42. Yeah, and I don't really have a problem with it being at 1, although there is some very rare scenario that I actually hope I play 2, but those scenario is actually already quite far gone. You already lost the game. Yeah, so I think 1 piece of this is pretty good already. I still play Time Gazer and Stargazer, just for that additional chance to do a Electromite before Pendulum Summon. Yeah. Ash Blossom at 3, there was one time I played 2, but I realized that this card at 3 is still the best, because you'll need to actually get to negate away Maxi. Yeah, and Maxi is really our most hated card, especially when you're going first. So because even if Maxi goes through, even if you want to end with a Baguska, you will still take maybe another 2 additional special summon. Yeah, which is pretty bad. So I think Ash Blossom at 3, and if you have the gem, maybe you can do a Call by the Grave as well. Yeah. So the next card I'm gonna craft is this, but I'm not sure how I balance this card together with my Ash Blossom. Maybe 2 of this and 1 less Ash Blossom. Yeah, that's something for me to consider again next season. Then Pendulum Sorcerer, I drop it to 2. I love this card, but I realized that I really had to take out something. I was thinking of either Pendulum Sorcerer or actually Oath Dragon Magician, and in the end I concluded that I'll just keep 2 of this, and because Oath Dragon is really too useful for me to just exclude 1 of them, it actually helps save a lot of my games, being able to take back 1 extra Pendulum monster from my extra deck. Yeah, so that's why I decided to drop this to 2. Yeah. Wisdom, I know change. This is definitely a 3 copy card. And then 1 Luster Pendulum. This card, actually a lot of people don't really play this card, but I love this card is because you can search it using Duelist Alliance, since it has the word Pendulum in its name. Yeah, and with this card you can actually pop your purple poison to actually maybe pop something first before anything else happen. Yeah, I think this is a really useful card. Skull Combat, no changes. This is definitely a 3. Harmonizing, this is definitely 2. Double Iris is a must. Black Fang at 3 and Purple Poison at 3. So a lot of decks lists I saw, I think especially for the FTK version, people usually just play 2 of this, 2 of Black Fang and then 2 of Purple Poison. And for me, I try to play 3 copy of everything if they can. I mean, if the card allows. It's because of my Luster Pendulum as well. So imagine if you're holding Pendulum Luster Pendulum and then an Astrograph in your hand. So what will happen is you skill this, and maybe let's say you skill a Purple Poison, and then use this effect to destroy your first copy of your Purple Poison to search for your second copy. And then if let's say Astrograph is in your hand, you can actually use Astrograph effect to special summon out and then take a third copy. Yeah, so actually you get to utilize all the effects and then still able to search for the cards. Yeah, so that is one of the reasons why I try to play 3 copies if I can, just in case there's this scenario where I have Pendulum Luster and Astrograph in my hand, which is common. As long as you have Astrograph, more or less you can get Luster Pendulum out easily because there's also Duelist Alliance. Yeah. Next, Curtain Caller. I play 3. I was playing with 2 initially, but I realized the benefit of having Electromite out before pen summoning is really very powerful, and thus the reason why I play 3. I don't think I'll play this for my next build because I think it's more of a visual issue. I don't really like the design of this, and it doesn't really fit into the whole team. I feel, to me, this deck is really more like a Magician and Dragon sort of deck, but this card is just a Fiend. Yeah, so it's just an OC of mine. Yeah, but definitely this card at 3 really helps a lot in the whole build. Celestial I play at 1 now instead of 3 in my previous deck list, and it's something that I think I'll keep it to 1. Usually I play 2 just in case I need to search it with Astrograph, but for some reason in all my duel, I would say like 30 to 40 rounds, I didn't really have the need to search for Celestial using Astrograph. Yeah, I don't remember any game that I have to do that. So I think this at 1 is really comfortable for me, and I'll try to stay at 1 for my other deck build as well, unless I really need more Magician to fill up the deck slot. If not, this will definitely be at 1 for me. Stargazer we mentioned, and yeah, Artifact Scythe is definite what you need definitely for a Artifact Scythe build. Just 1. I guess you can consider. I was considering playing Lancia or actually Monarch. Is this called Monarch? More attack, yeah. Either this card or actually Lancia. Yeah, just so that I can actually bring out more artifact cards onto the field. Yeah. Then Oath Dragon for me is always 3. It's really too useful, like what I mentioned just now. Chronograph 1, Astrograph 1, this is no different from any other Pendulum Magician deck list. It's too useful to remove either of them. Yeah. For this deck build, I play Pendulum Core just because I find that if I get Maxi and I really want to end with just a Baguska, with Pendulum Core and the trap on the field with Baguska is actually really a strong mini board that can actually stop quite a number of things. Yeah, I was playing 3 at one period of time, but I realized it's a bit too much. Like actually most of the time I don't really want this. It's really for that very minor, that very small chance that I might need a Pendulum Core, and thus the reason I put it at 1. Yeah. Duelist Alliance definitely 3. Pendulum Graph, this is always at 1, and Trap at 1. I was playing with 2 Trap and then 3 Pendulum Core for one period of time, since I was thinking like, if I really can pen call, I'll actually want the Trap to be in my hand. So I actually added 1 more copy to make sure it can be, I can get it a lot easier other than just depending on double iris. Because if you do a Pendulum Core, you won't be able to pop double iris, which makes it harder to find your trap. Yeah, so, and that's the reason why I play 2 for this. But in the end, I decided to take out one of them and keep 1 together with 1 Pendulum Core. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the gist of the main deck. For extra deck, or Ice Vortex, because I played Absolute in this build. If you really don't like this combo with Absolute and All Ice, you can actually take out a Dragon Pit Magician to fit in other stuff. Yeah, and then you can free up actually 2 extra deck slots. But this to me is pretty useful. I have a combo video on how I do a combo for this Artifact Scythe build, which I think will be released in another few days time. So do continue to subscribe and then take a look at those videos. And if you have any questions, just drop it in the comments. Yeah. This Starving Venom usually I play 2, but this time I just play 1 because I realized I don't really need 2 of them. For like firstly I don't play Harbinger, so I don't need 2, and secondly is if I really need to come up with this, it means I'm in a despo situation, and I'm not those that likes to exhaust all resource at once. So actually I won't even summon two of these in a turn. Yeah, and that's the reason why I actually don't really like Harbinger, because it actually takes up too many resources just to get that one simple negation. Yeah. Okay, Wonder Magician is a must for this deck because you're playing the Artifact Scythe build. So what happened is once this card is set onto your field, you just need to get Crystron Needle Fiber out and then use its effect to get Wonder Magician to pop your own Scythe during opponent's turn, and then it will help to bring out Scythe from your graveyard to stop the extra deck summon for your opponent. Yeah. In instance, I love this card. If there's a lot of protection on your opponent's monster, this is one way to definitely get rid of it, because there are monsters such as Future Draco, which you cannot be destroyed by card effect, and then this card will be able to just return. Yeah. Then if let's say your opponent has cards that cannot be targeted, this card doesn't target as well, so it's still pretty good. And just a tip, for this card, right, it actually just need to target one Pendulum monster on the field or one card in Pendulum zone. So that means if you're playing a mirror match, this card can actually pop your opponent Pendulum skill or any Pendulum monster, and then it do the shuffle effect back to the deck. So actually it's like a double remover if your opponent is also playing a Pendulum deck. Yeah, so that is why I love this card as well. And this card itself can summon out your Luster Pendulum, just in case you needed that one additional tuner. Yeah. Clearwing, I'm thinking of removing this, but then Raigeki effect is still quite strong. Usually I play this if I'm playing the Shooting Riser Dragon, but in this case I just leave it in just in case for some reason after going through a bunch of combo I just need to clear their field first. Yeah, and this will be my main. Savage no different, you definitely need this card. Yeah. Time Star Magician, I love this card because of the trap as well. Like if you don't have a pen core or you don't want to use pen core, you can actually get your Time Star Magician out with the trap, which is a good 2-card remover per turn without any resources consumed from your side, other than the fact that you need to throw one spellcaster to your graveyard. But to me that's not really a huge problem. Okay, for Baguska, I'm really thinking of switching Baguska to Abyss Dweller, because I realized most of the deck actually touch the graveyard more than I think, and Baguska doesn't really stop that. So yeah, I think for the next season I'll be trying Abyss Dweller instead of Baguska just to see the results. Astral Dragon, like what I explained, is really mainly for all Ice Vortex. Electromite, no different. Crystron is still here. And yeah, this card, you'll need this card, and the good thing about this card is just 2 monsters with different name. So this is how you can get your Absolute Dragon into the graveyard, by linking another monster with it to get this. And its effect on activation, I mean once something is activated on the field, you can already set your side. Yeah. So one combo is, if let's say you have Crystron on the field and Artifact on the field itself, and without anything else, you can actually do a chain 1 Crystron to banish itself to attempt to summon Wonder Magician, and then you chain 2 you'll be able to activate this and then set the site on the field. And on resolution, the site will be set on the field first, and then your Wonder Magician will be summoned to the field, and that's when for the next chain you can use Wonder Magician to pop your site. Yeah, so these 2 cards can be chained together and everything can happen within that chain, the setting and the special summoning. Yeah. Celine is really mainly for your access code, because if you do the side combo correctly, what will be left on your field will be one artifact yeah, one wonder munition and one side. So during your next turn, if since the opponent has nothing to do, you will be able to link summon to Celine because wonder munition is a spellcaster, and then you will then open up 3 other pendulum slot for you to pendulum summon. Yeah, which is pretty strong. Yeah. Apollosa is something that if let's say during the first turn you have a bunch of resources and you already set up your field, I'll end the board with just a Crystron and then Apollosa using the rest of my monster on the field. Yeah, which is also a good negation to protect your side, because sometimes side will be maybe banished by DD Crow or some other monster effect that try to stop it from activating. So Apollosa will actually helps to improve the success rate of your artifact side when it triggers its effect in the graveyard. Yeah. And lastly, access code. I think access code and Celine is always together. So once you actually pendulum summon 3 monsters on Celine, then you can link it to access code. Yeah. So yeah, overall this is the deck list that I've been playing for my season 3 Plat 1 ranking. And if there's any questions or basically just anything or something that you want to comment about the deck and why you play 2 of a certain card or 3 of a certain card, do feel free to leave in the comment section below. And if you would like me to analyze your duel as well, do feel free to submit it via the link in the description below, and I'll be more than happy to explain some of the plays that I would have done if I were in that situation, and hopefully to improve everyone's gameplay as well. Yeah. So I have come to the end of my video, so do remember to subscribe and give the video a like. It actually really helps to boost my channel, and I'm trying to hit my first milestone of 1000 subscribers just to get the whole channel monetized. So any number of subscription will really help me. Yeah. So if not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.